Hi, I'm Ben Hanawalt, Product Specialist here at Atlas Copco. And today I'm going to talk about some frequently asked questions that I receive on the PowerFocus 6000. So today we're going to talk about sources, specifically source tightenings, and what they do, and how to select P-sets from an external source, whether it be open protocol or a field bus. So if we follow along in the software, first place we're going to go is the top right corner. That's going to be our Sources tab. We're going to click in, and you can see of the tabs on the left side, we're going to go to Tightening and then Source Tightening. Now, we have the ability to have multiple source tightenings in the software if we want to. So we can assign these to different virtual stations if we do want to use a different index while we're fastening. So I'll show you what I mean by an index. So if I click into Source Tightening, you can see we have a couple of options at the top, and at the bottom you can see Identifier Selector Configuration. And basically all this is an index. So if the system receives a 0, we're locked. If the system receives a 1, we're going to run tightening program 10 Newton meters. Now at the top of the screen we have some options. Currently I have the system set to an external batch control, which means that an external source is going to be setting the batch size. So we have the option to lock the tool on batch sequence complete. We also have selector mode, which can be set to control or confirm. Control would be for using the source tightening without a socket tray, and confirm would be for using a socket tray. So if you see, if I change this tab, you can see it opened up the option to program in a socket number. This would be used specifically with a socket tray. So, I'm not using a socket tray for this example, so I'm going to go back to control. We also have the option to increment on not OK. That's for the batch sequencing. Max consecutive not OKs is going to be how many not OK fastenings we can receive before the system will lock it, and it'll need to be unlocked by an external variable. And if you look in the options for batch counting, we don't have to set batch sizing. We can just select a parameter set, or we can set the batch size internally. And you can see it opened up these options for setting the batch size as well. So I'm going to leave it set to external batch control. Now with the source tightenings, if you go up to the name, I personally like to make the name whatever I'm going to be using. So if I'm going to be using Profinet to select a field bus or to select a parameter set, I can go in here, type in Profinet, and now it's named Profinet. So I know when I'm selecting my sources which one to use. So I'm going to hit back out to the home screen. So now we've created our source tightening. How do we use it? Let's go into the virtual station menu. Let's click in. You see we have our task menu right here, and I can hit change task. Now I can select a tightening program, a batch sequence, or I can select a source. Now if I want to select from Profinet, I can use this source tightening and I can select it, and it'll become the task. So now at this point, if I pull the trigger on the tool, it's going to say no P-set selected because I'm waiting for Profinet to select the P-set, and in our situation also set the batch size. So that's what a source tightening is. That's how we select P-sets from an external source, whether it be open protocol, whether it be a field bus, or some other source. So on that note, I hope that this has been a helpful video for you. I hope that you guys have gained something out of this. Now if you do have more questions, please feel free to contact an Atlas Copco representative and we can get you some more help.